Have you ever felt like the world is against you? Like no matter how hard you try, life just keeps throwing challenges your way. Maybe you've lost something, or someone you love. Maybe you're facing a situation that feels impossible to overcome. In those moments, happiness can feel like a distant dream, something meant for everyone else but not for you. But what if I told you that even in the darkest times, happiness is still within your reach? That no matter how bad things seem, you have the power to find peace, joy, and even meaning in your struggles. Welcome to Soulful Healing Podcast, where we explore timeless wisdom to heal and transform your life. Today, we're diving into the profound teachings of Buddhism to discover how you can stay happy, even in the worst conditions. Let's begin this journey together. In Buddhism, happiness is not merely the absence of suffering, nor is it dependent on external circumstances. Instead, it is a state of mind cultivated through wisdom, compassion, and mindfulness. The Buddha taught that true happiness arises from within when we free ourselves from attachment, aversion, and ignorance. One of the core teachings in Buddhism is the Four Noble Truths. The first truth acknowledges the presence of suffering in life. The second truth identifies the cause of suffering, our attachments and cravings. The third truth offers hope, revealing that liberation from suffering is possible. And the fourth truth provides the path to this liberation: the Noble Eightfold Path. The Noble Eightfold Path is a guide to living a life of wisdom, ethical conduct, and mental discipline. By following this path, we cultivate qualities like kindness, generosity, and patience. These virtues not only bring happiness to ourselves, but also to those around us. In Buddhism, happiness is deeply interconnected with the well-being of all beings. Another key aspect of happiness in Buddhism is the practice of gratitude and contentment. By appreciating what we have in the present moment, we free ourselves from the endless cycle of wanting more. This doesn't mean we stop striving for improvement, but rather we learn to find joy in the journey itself. Ultimately, happiness in Buddhism is about understanding the nature of reality and our place within it. It is about letting go of what we cannot control and embracing the present moment with an open heart. As the Buddha once said, peace comes from within. Do not seek it without. But how do we find this inner peace when life feels overwhelming? It's not about ignoring our struggles or pretending everything is fine. It's about shifting our perspective and learning to work with what we have. And the first step on this path is acceptance. At the heart of this teaching are the Four Noble Truths, the foundation of the Buddha's wisdom. The first truth is the recognition that suffering, or dukkha, is an inherent part of life. Whether it's physical pain, emotional distress, or the subtle dissatisfaction that lingers beneath the surface, suffering is universal. The second truth reveals the cause of this suffering: our attachments, cravings, and resistance to the way things are. We often cling to what we desire and push away what we dislike. This struggle against reality creates inner turmoil and deepens our suffering. But there is hope. The third truth teaches us that liberation from suffering is possible. By letting go of our attachments and accepting reality as it is, we can find peace. This doesn't mean we passively resign ourselves to hardship. Instead, it means we stop fighting against what we cannot change and focus on how we respond. The fourth truth offers us a path forward: the Noble Eightfold Path. This path guides us in cultivating wisdom, ethical conduct, and mental discipline. Through practices like mindfulness and meditation, we learn to observe our thoughts and emotions without judgment. We begin to see reality clearly, free from the distortions of our desires and fears. Accepting reality is not about giving up or losing hope. It's about finding freedom in the present moment. When we stop resisting what is happening, we open ourselves to a deeper sense of peace. We learn to flow with life, like a river that adapts to the contours of the land without losing its essence. Imagine standing in the rain. You can either struggle to stay dry, feeling frustrated and exhausted, or you can accept the rain and find joy in the experience. Acceptance doesn't change the rain, but it changes how you relate to it. This is the power of living in harmony with reality. Acceptance is like opening a door. Once we stop fighting against what is, we create space to move forward. But to truly step through that door, we need to let go of what's holding us back. Our attachments, our fears, and our need to control everything. Imagine holding a handful of sand. The tighter you grip, the more sand slips through your fingers. But if you open your hand gently, the sand remains. In the same way, when we cling tightly to our desires, expectations, or possessions, we create tension and suffering. Letting go allows us to experience life with ease and openness. The Buddha taught that attachment is one of the root causes of suffering, or dukkha. We attach to people, to outcomes, to ideas of who we are or who we should be. When these attachments are threatened or unmet, we feel pain, disappointment, or frustration. But the problem is not the desire itself. It's the clinging, the inability to let go. Letting go doesn't mean we stop caring or abandon our goals. It means we release the tight grip of control and allow life to unfold naturally. It's about finding balance. Engaging fully in life while remaining unattached to the results. This is the essence of non-attachment, a key principle in Buddhist practice. When we let go of attachment, our minds become lighter and freer. We no longer carry the heavy burden of unmet expectations or the fear of losing what we hold dear. Instead, we cultivate a sense of inner peace and resilience. We learn to appreciate the present moment, just as it is, without needing it to be different. Think of a leaf floating on a river. It doesn't struggle or resist the current. It simply flows, trusting the journey. In the same way, letting go allows us to flow with the currents of life. We become more adaptable, more open to change, and more deeply connected to the beauty of each moment. Letting go is a practice, not a one-time event. It begins with awareness, noticing when we are clinging and gently reminding ourselves to release. Over time, this practice transforms our relationship with life. We discover that true freedom lies not in holding on, but in letting go. Letting go isn't easy, but it's incredibly liberating. And when we release our grip on what we can't control, we make room for something much more powerful: compassion, for ourselves and for others. Compassion begins with understanding. It is the ability to feel the suffering of others and the genuine desire to alleviate it. But compassion is not limited to others. It also includes ourselves. Often, we are our own harshest critics, but true healing begins when we learn to treat ourselves with the same kindness and care we would offer a dear friend. Loathing, kindness, or metta, is the practice of cultivating unconditional love and goodwill. It is a heart that wishes happiness for all beings, without exception. When we practice loving kindness, we break down the walls of separation and recognize the interconnectedness of all life. We begin to see that the happiness of others is deeply tied to our own. Imagine a candle flame. When you light another candle with it, the first flame is not diminished. In fact, the light grows brighter. In the same way, when we give love and kindness, we do not lose anything. Instead, our hearts expand and we receive peace and happiness in return. Practicing compassion and loving kindness doesn't mean we ignore our own needs or boundaries. It means we approach ourselves and others with an open heart, free from judgment and resentment. It is a practice of seeing the goodness in everyone, even in difficult situations. One way to cultivate these qualities is through meditation. A simple loving kindness meditation involves silently repeating phrases like, "May I be happy," "May I be healthy," "May I be safe," "May I live with ease." Then we extend these wishes to others. May you be happy, may you be healthy, may you be safe, may you live with ease. Over time, this practice softens the heart and transforms our relationships. Compassion and loving kindness are not just feelings, they are actions. A kind word, a listening ear, or a small act of generosity can have a profound impact. When we live from a place of love, we create ripples of positivity that extend far beyond ourselves. Compassion helps us connect with others, but to truly find happiness, we must also connect with ourselves. Right here, right now. Because the present moment is where life truly happens. The present moment is all we truly have. The past is gone and the future is not yet here. Yet, so often, our minds are caught in a whirlwind of thoughts, replaying what has already happened or anxiously anticipating what might come next. This mental wandering pulls us away from the beauty and richness of the present. Mindfulness is the key to returning to the present moment. It is the practice of paying attention to what is happening right now without judgment. When we are mindful, we become aware of our thoughts, feelings, and sensations as they arise. We notice the sights, sounds, and smells around us. We fully engage with life as it unfolds. Imagine walking in a garden. If your mind is preoccupied with worries, you might miss the vibrant colors of the flowers, the gentle rustle of leaves, or the warmth of the sun on your skin. But when you bring your attention to the present, the garden comes alive. You experience it fully, with all your senses. This is the gift of mindfulness. Living in the present moment doesn't mean we ignore the past or future entirely. It means we don't let them dominate our minds. We can learn from the past and plan for the future, but we do so with a grounded awareness of the present. This balance brings clarity, peace, and a deeper appreciation for life. One way to practice mindfulness is through meditation. Sit quietly, focus on your breath, and gently bring your attention back whenever it wanders. You can also practice mindfulness in everyday activities, eating, walking, or even washing dishes. The goal is to be fully present, moment by moment. When we live in the present, we discover a profound truth, that each moment is a gift. We stop chasing after happiness in the future or clinging to memories of the past. Instead, we find joy and contentment in the here and now. Life becomes richer, more vivid, and more meaningful. And when we live mindfully, we begin to see challenges not as obstacles, but as opportunities. Every difficulty becomes a chance to grow, to learn, and to become stronger. Life is full of ups and downs. At times, we may face hardships, disappointments, or unexpected changes. It's natural to feel overwhelmed or discouraged in these moments. But what if we could see these challenges not as setbacks, but as stepping stones on our path to growth? Buddhism teaches that difficulties are an essential part of life. They are like the fire that tempers steel, making it stronger and more resilient. When we face challenges with an open mind and a willing heart, we discover hidden strengths within ourselves. We learn patience, perseverance, and the ability to adapt. Imagine a tree standing tall in a storm. The wind may bend its branches, but the tree doesn't break. Instead, its roots grow deeper, anchoring it firmly to the ground. In the same way, challenges can help us strengthen our inner resilience. They teach us to stand firm even in the face of adversity. Every challenge carries a lesson. It might be a lesson in letting go, in finding courage, or in cultivating compassion for ourselves and others. When we approach difficulties with curiosity and a willingness to learn, we transform them into opportunities for growth. We begin to see that even the hardest moments have something valuable to offer. One of the most powerful tools to help us grow through challenges is meditation. It's like a mental gym where we train our minds to stay calm, focused, and resilient, no matter what life throws at us. Meditation is not about escaping from life or emptying the mind of all thoughts. Instead, it is about creating a space of stillness and awareness. Through meditation, we learn to observe our thoughts and emotions without judgment, allowing them to come and go like clouds in the sky. This practice helps reduce stress, calm the mind, and bring a sense of inner peace. Let's take a moment to explore a simple meditation technique that you can practice daily. Find a quiet place where you can sit comfortably, either on a chair or on the floor. Close your eyes gently and take a deep breath in and slowly exhale. Let your body relax, releasing any tension you may be holding. Now, bring your attention to your breath. Notice the natural rhythm of your breathing, the cool air entering your nostrils as you inhale, and the warm air leaving as you exhale. There's no need to control your breath, simply observe it, as if you were watching the gentle waves of the ocean. If your mind begins to wander, that's completely normal. Gently guide your attention back to your breath, without any judgment. Each time you bring your focus back, you are strengthening your mindfulness, like training a muscle. Now, let's expand our awareness. Notice the sensations in your body, the feeling of your feet on the ground, your hands resting on your lap, or the gentle rise and fall of your chest. If any thoughts or emotions arise, acknowledge them with kindness and let them pass like leaves floating down a stream. Take a few more moments to sit in this stillness. With each breath, feel yourself becoming more grounded, more present, and more at peace. When you're ready, slowly open your eyes and bring your awareness back to the room. Practicing meditation, even for just a few minutes a day, can have a profound impact on your life. It helps you cultivate a calm mind, a compassionate heart, and a deeper connection to the present moment. Over time, you'll find that the peace you discover in meditation begins to flow into every aspect of your life. As we meditate and reflect, we begin to notice the small blessings in our lives, things we often overlook. And this is where gratitude comes in, transforming the way we see the world. Gratitude is more than just saying thank you. It is a way of seeing, a lens through which we notice the smallest good things in life. The warmth of the sun on our skin, the sound of birds singing, the smile of a loved one, or even the simple act of breathing. When we cultivate gratitude, we begin to see the beauty and value in every moment. Often, we take these small blessings for granted. We become so focused on what we want or what we don't have that we overlook the gifts that are already here. Gratitude reminds us to pause, to look around, and to appreciate the richness of our lives, just as they are. Imagine holding a magnifying glass to your life. When you focus on the good, no matter how small, it grows brighter and more meaningful. A simple meal becomes a feast. A quiet moment becomes a treasure. Gratitude transforms the ordinary into the extraordinary. One way to cultivate gratitude is through a daily practice. Each day, take a few moments to reflect on 3 things you are grateful for. They can be as simple as a kind word from a stranger, a beautiful sunset, or the comfort of your home. Write them down or simply hold them in your heart. Over time, this practice will help you see the world with fresh eyes. Gratitude also helps us stay present. When we focus on what we are thankful for, we anchor ourselves in the here and now. We stop worrying about the future or regretting the past. Instead, we fully embrace the present moment, finding joy and contentment in what is already here. Gratitude is a gift we give to ourselves. It shifts our perspective, fills our hearts with joy, and connects us more deeply to the world around us. As the Buddhist teachings remind us, happiness does not come from having more, but from appreciating what we already have. And as we practice gratitude, we begin to understand a profound truth: nothing lasts forever. This is the teaching of impermanence, and it can be incredibly freeing. Look around you. The seasons change, the sun rises and sets, flowers bloom and wither. Even the mountains, which seem eternal, are slowly shaped by wind and rain. Life is in a constant state of flux, and yet we often cling to the illusion of permanence. We hold tightly to people, possessions, and moments, hoping they will last forever. But the truth is, nothing stays the same. Relationships evolve, careers shift, and even our own bodies change with time. When we resist this natural flow of life, we create suffering for ourselves. We feel pain when we lose what we love, and we fear the uncertainty of what lies ahead. Understanding impermanence doesn't mean we stop caring or become indifferent. Instead, it helps us appreciate the preciousness of each moment. When we know that something won't last forever, we cherish it more deeply. We learn to let go with grace, knowing that change is a natural part of life. Imagine holding a handful of sand. The tighter you grip, the faster it slips through your fingers. But if you hold it gently, you can enjoy its texture and warmth without fear of losing it. In the same way, when we accept impermanence, we can fully experience life without clinging or fear. Accepting impermanence also helps us navigate loss. When we lose someone or something dear to us, the pain is real, but it is softened by the understanding that all things are transient. We can honor what we've lost while finding peace in the knowledge that change is part of the journey. Impermanence is not something to fear, it is something to embrace. It teaches us to live fully, love deeply, and let go gracefully. It reminds us that every ending is also a new beginning, and every moment is an opportunity to start anew. With this understanding, we can finally choose happiness, no matter what life brings. Because happiness isn't something we find. It's something we create moment by moment. Life will always present us with challenges, uncertainties, and moments of pain. But within each of us lies the power to choose how we respond. We can choose to resist and suffer, or we can choose to accept, learn, and grow. We can choose to focus on what we lack, or we can choose to appreciate the abundance that already exists in our lives. The teachings of Buddhism are not just philosophical ideas. They are practical tools for living a happier, more meaningful life. From understanding impermanence to cultivating gratitude, from practicing mindfulness to embracing compassion, these teachings guide us toward inner peace and fulfillment. But knowledge alone is not enough. The true power of these teachings lies in their application. Each day is an opportunity to practice, to be present, to let go of attachment, to show kindness, and to find joy in the simple moments. It is through consistent practice that we transform our minds and our lives. Remember, happiness is not a destination, it is a journey. It is not something we achieve once and for all, but something we cultivate moment by moment. Even in the face of adversity, we can choose to see the good, to learn the lesson, and to find peace within ourselves. So, as you move forward, I encourage you to take these teachings with you. Start small. Practice mindfulness for a few minutes each day. Reflect on what you are grateful for. Approach challenges with curiosity and courage. And above all, be kind to yourself and to others. May you find happiness not in the absence of difficulties, but in the way you navigate them. May your heart be light, your mind be clear, and your spirit be resilient. And may you walk this path with compassion, wisdom, and joy. Happiness is a choice. Even in the worst conditions, we can choose to cultivate peace, compassion, and gratitude. By applying these Buddhist teachings, we can find joy and meaning in every moment of life. Thank you for watching Soulful Healing Podcast. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more content like this. Until next time, stay happy and stay blessed.